Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a new light that I was sent over for review purposes. I was contacted by GearBest and asked if I would be interested in reviewing this light here. This is the Imalent HR20 headlamp, and I was looking at some of the different specs and the different features that the light has, and I was pretty intrigued to get this in hand so I can test it out for myself. This is putting out 1,000 lumens, running off of one 18650 rechargeable battery, which is included. And you also have the capability to recharge it via USB. So this is great because it allows you to go ahead and recharge the light basically on the go, as long as you have the ability to connect to a USB source. So on the side, it gives you a couple different usage for the light. So it says for climbing, exploring, and camping. And then you have a little bit of information on the back of the box here. Now, as you guys can see, this is obviously originally designed as a headlamp, but I think because of the features and how you access them and things like that, this can, be very versatile to use in other situations. So let's go ahead and open up the box. All right, and inside, first, you have your user manual here. And I do recommend that you kind of read through the manual to get familiarized with the different features and the different modes and things like that. It always does come in handy. Here is the packaging. So you have the flashlight itself over here, which we'll set to the side for now. And then you have your different accessories underneath. The first one is obviously your head strap or head harness, however you want to call this. So you do have your attachment point right here, which is a nice kind of rubbery plastic there, but you do have the ability to just slide the light, either left to right or right to left. So that's really cool, depending on how you want to go ahead and activate the light itself using the different buttons. And then I like the fact that they include this particular type of harness, which actually goes over your head. That allows, if the light does become a little bit heavy for your taste, this gives you a little bit more support on the light itself. And then you also have the ability to go ahead and tighten or loosen the different straps as you go. So there you go. This is kind of elasticy. So besides that, you have your USB cord right here. And again, this is what you're going to use to recharge that 18650 battery that's inside of the light. And then you have a little accessory bag here. So you have a spare O-ring, and then you also have a pocket clip, which is really nice because, again, if you don't want to use this on your head, you can just throw the pocket clip on there and you can go ahead and use the flashlight in your hand or attach it to a bag or something like that. This is obviously an angled flashlight design, so you can hold it in your hand this way, or you can, using the pocket clip, you can attach it to like the strap of a backpack or something like that, so you can light straight ahead. So let's take a look at the flashlight itself. It is aluminum body, which is nice and lightweight, but it feels very sturdy in the hand, which is really nice. You do have some knurling on the body right here, which is basically going to keep it in place when you slide it through here, but also if you're using it in your hand, it gives you a little bit better grip to it. And then basically all your your mode buttons and different things like that are going to be right over here. So this is where I was saying, where you can slide it in either left to right or right to left, depending on if you're left or right-handed. Because again, this is basically designed to be used with one hand. So let's take a look at the, what I would say the top of the flashlight right here. So let's see if we can focus in on that. Maybe let's bring this light over here. There we go. All right, so you have basically your only mode button right here, which is on and off switch. And then right underneath that, you have this little cap, which is covering the port for your USB right there. And then if you guys can make it out right here, you have this ring that kind of rotates. And that's pretty much what I wanted to check out, because this light, what it does is it gives you different outputs, but it's not quantifiable in the middle. So in other words, it's anywhere from 1 lumen to 1,000 lumens. And that's, basically you get to choose, the intensity of the light itself, which is really cool because, again, you're not kind of forced to going from 1 to 50 to 100 or something like that. You just kind of go through the different modes as you go. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and turn off this overhead light for a second so we can take a look at the different modes. So again, just pressing that on and off button will turn the light on or off. So you just press it once, and right now it is on at 1,000 lumens. I know it's kind of reflecting. So through here, what you can do is just rotate that bezel down, and as you guys can see, the light is kind of dimming, and you rotate it all the way till it's 1 lumen. That's pretty much what that is. Or you can go ahead and crank it up just a little bit to, give you a little bit more light, and then just keep going and going and going until you go all the way up to 1,000 lumens. So that is really cool because, again, it gives you the power to basically set it at whatever output it is that you want or that you're going to need for the particular situation that you're going to be in. Besides that, you also have a couple different modes. So if you press and hold, it'll go into a strobe mode. So there it is. From there, you can press and hold again for 3 seconds, and it's going to go into an SOS mode. All right. And then from there, you can press and hold for another 3 seconds, and it'll go into a beacon mode, which is just basically, just a one burst every couple of seconds. And then you just turn it off, and then it goes back to off. Now, this is, again, very intuitive, so you can just press it to turn it on, and then as you rotate that bezel, it'll go ahead and dim or brighten the light. And that's pretty much the one thing that I really do enjoy about this flashlight is the ability to basically just set the light to whatever mode it is that you want. I know with certain flashlights, when they do have a couple different modes, sometimes depending on what you're going to be using it for, you might one mode might be too low or the other mode might be too high. At least with this, you can go ahead and rotate it to whatever it is that you need, and it's going to be, you're going to be able to set it perfectly for that particular mode. So here it is inside of the harness here. So as you guys can see, there it is. Now grabbing it by the other side, you can go ahead and rotate it down if you need to light up a path, or if you want to rotate it up and have it bounce off the ceiling so it can light up a wider area like a room or something like that. You can go ahead and do that. And obviously here, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, all the controls will be on this side. So if you're left-handed, you can go ahead and slide it in that way. Or if not, you can, like I mentioned already, slide it out and then just turn it around and slide it in this way. So it basically makes it completely ambidextrous. That way, if you're holding something else on your other hand, you can just turn it on, then rotate it up and down depending on how much intensity you want, and then go ahead and use it that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys how this looks when you have it on. All right, guys, so here it is. I'll go ahead and throw it on. I know a lot of people are a little bit apprehensive about using a headlamp. Maybe they feel like it's not going to be comfortable or it's going to look funny, but I can tell you that this is a great tool to have, especially if you're going to be in a situation where you're going to need both of your hands to be free. Now, the HR20 is very comfortable, especially with this harness, because the straps are nice and wide, and then you also have that elastic feel to it, so it's never going to be very tight. The other option that you have, that extra strap, that third strap right down the middle of your head, is going to allow it to support the weight of the flashlight, even though it's not very heavy. But if you're going to be using it for a prolonged amount of time, it's going to support that weight a lot better by having that extra third strap on the top. Now, again, the beauty of a headlamp is the ability to be able to use it without having to use your hands. And in particular, the HR20 here is great because you can go ahead and rotate it down to light up the path in front of you if you have to do that. You can rotate it up and in front of you to light up the whole area, or you can rotate it all the way up. If you go into a dark room and you want to bounce the light off the ceiling and light up the whole room, you can easily do that. Again, bring it back down in front of you. All you have to do is turn it on with one click of a button, and you're right at 1,000 lumens if you wanted to, but just as easily you can rotate it down to 1 lumen. Again, if you don't need that much light, you want to preserve your night vision and stuff like that, this is perfectly suited for that. But again, if you go into a situation quickly where you need a lot more light, all you have to do is rotate it back up and you're right back at 1,000. Just that easy. You don't have to click through a bunch of different modes. You don't have to click a bunch of different buttons. Just rotate that bezel up and down, and then you'll get to whatever light you need from 1 to 1,000 lumens. Again, the 18650 battery, which is included, is also rechargeable via USB. So if you have the USB cable attached to maybe like a portable power bank or something like that, you can have that in a pocket and continue to use the light without the battery dying, which is really nice. And again, if you don't want to use it on your head, you can go ahead and take it out, put that pocket clip on it and then either hang it from a backpack strap or put it into your pocket and use it in your hands whenever you need it. So it is a very versatile light. I think for the most part, as far as headlamps go, the HR20 by Imalent is a great option. And again, you're getting 1,000 lumens on high, which is more than enough light that you're going to need, but you can go ahead and scale that down anywhere all the way down to 1 lumen, depending on how much light you need. So there it is. That is the HR20 by Imalent. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.